So the next part of this is, I think, one of the most important parts. Leoha is another new developer on our team. He's a new guy, and he's very quick. He's like a sponge. He's picking up a lot of the information very, very quickly. And he's basically taken a fork of Exency, and I want to give a shout out to Good Karma for working with us on this to help us to understand the back end of Exency. Well, because Exency is open source, Leoha has managed to take a copy of the Exency code, fork it, run it on our own servers, and modify it slightly so it's dedicated to a community specifically, and then allow people, basically anyone really with very low tech capability, to be able to log into our website and then create their own platform using that technology, so that everyone now has the ability to have their own front end as a platform where you can log into, you can post, you can manage the community, you can run it independently from your own URL. These are really important things for Web3 going forwards. And I see left, right, and center all of these content creators paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to video creators and video developers and software developers to build their own platforms, when in reality this is the answer. It's just, we think it's going to be free to set up because Leo's done such a good job of streamlining this down. So hopefully Leoha can come on and demonstrate this platform to everyone to show how powerful this is. But he's
Yep. Okay, I'm
Leoha,
yeah, I'm ready. Wait, let me. Okay, so you should be seeing the starting point website. So, okay, so this is the place you go to create your own community page. So, yeah, this basically has two pages. One is the setup process, and the other one is the main section, the home page. So basically, when you press the setup button,
just before we go ahead, Leo, this isn't fully up and running yet. This is an example, right? Because I see the URL is localhost, so you're hosting it locally.
Yeah.
We're basically ready to finish this off.
The starting point is local, but I'm gonna host the fork so everyone can see it live.
Yeah. But this technology isn't available to everyone in the room just yet. This is a demo.
No, it's not. No.
In a few weeks' time, we're gonna launch it in a few weeks' time, right?
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, it
should
be ready. Okay, so the first thing you get prompted with is if you have a Hive community ready. So at this point in time, I don't have the Hive community creation fully worked out. So that's a work in progress. But now I have the process of for an existing Hive community. So the first thing you get prompted with is uploading an ICO file, which will be this is also a work in progress inside of the fork, but that's just it's something I'm gonna have to deal with later. So when you upload an ICO file, it's gonna pop up here, and a continue button is gonna show up. You press it, then you have a selection. What?
Just for clarification, what's the ICO file? What is that intended?
The ICO file is it's this icon right here on every tab. There's an AWS icon, there's a YouTube icon that's going to be for your website, and that's going to be custom. And
so it's your website logo, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So then you get to pick your color scheme, which we have 3 of. Pretty basic color schemes. For now, I'm just going to pick sky blue because that's, in my opinion, the best one I've created. And so, yeah, if you continue, you get to the community info part, which you have to input your community Hive ID, which I have set up already, and then tags, which will be to show content from certain tags. That's also a work in progress for now. So when you press continue, you're going to get a summary of the community you want to create a page about, which in this case is SPK, SPK Network. And then if this is the community you want to make a page about, you press yes. I'm going to set up authentication also. So, but it's not ready yet, so I'm just not going to show it here. But if the community doesn't belong to you,
that would guarantee. Sorry to interrupt. That would guarantee that would verify that you are the owner of that community, basically. Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna set that up later. So if you press yes, then you will be prompted into the summary page, which will have the one command that you need to run all of this. So this is basically a simple Docker run command that you can run and basically just run that whole fork locally. So if I press this button, it's going to copy the command. Now, if I want to run it, I'm going to first start off with running it locally. So basically, the only thing you need to do is just go on any terminal or like a PowerShell or like a command prompt. I'm not sure about Windows, like command prompts and PowerShells, because I haven't tested that yet. But the only main thing is you need to have Docker installed, which is basically a place where you can create virtual machines that can run your code. So yeah, if you run, the only thing you need is like if you run Docker, it needs to prompt up with the help page. If this doesn't prompt up and you get like a command doesn't exist like this, that means it's not ready for usage. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's the only thing you need. Then you paste in the command that you get from the website, which is here. And then you need, well, I'm running this locally, so that means I need to change the 80 ports to 3000, 3001 in this case, because 3000 is already in use. And I'm just not going to use sudo. Sudo basically gives you administrative privileges, and that's just not needed right now. So if you press enter, it should run it. Yeah, it should be running because I've added a -d tag, which basically lets the Docker image run in the background. So now if I go on here, go into localhost 3001, it should, yeah, the page should be running. And this is the old version of the Docker image. Well, shit. Okay. Yeah, this is outdated. I forgot to pull the new image, but it doesn't matter. The base functionality is still here. So yeah, the only thing that changes here is that only a certain community can be shown. Basically, the community that you picked in here is the community that's gonna be shown here. Then there's the custom themes that I've made that were prompted earlier. And everything else is pretty much from SNC, like the authentication process, the post creation process, everything else is from SNC, like directly from there. So yeah, and I could set up. This is basically it for the local example, but I could set up an EC2 instance if that's something that I have time for.
Yes, well, just to recap here, right? So
yeah.
what Leo has just done here is run an instance from his own server of through a Docker of this code that basically allows you as a Hive user to run your own platform on your own server without having to rely on Hive.blog or Google or Facebook or anyone. That's your platform, and your community members can log in through here and post through here, and you can moderate the community through here, and it's independent. So this is massive in my opinion, and the cost of doing this is basically zero. I'm assuming
it's not basically zero. Well, depending on the usage, depending on the usage of your site that I'm gonna set up right now, it's gonna be practically zero. If it's not used enough, or like if bandwidth doesn't reach a certain point, it's going to be free. You don't need to pay for anything, neither the hostage or hosting or anything else. So yeah,
it's super cool, because the current equivalent of this in the market costs you a lot of money to set up, and it makes it quite limiting. But the way that you've managed to set this up, Lioho, makes it effectively free, and so it just means that we can now scale the idea of immutable community breakaway communities, and then as time goes on, we'll upgrade this to have video included, to have tokens included, so you'll be able to set up your own token with this as well. So it's just super cool, and it's just a super exciting step forward in the way this tech is going, and a massive milestone as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, I want to say thanks very much for the work that you've done on it, because I think it's incredibly important. It's going to really push a lot of internet freedom forward. This technology is, and I'm just super excited to see it actually in action. So you were talking about an EC2. How long is that going to take you to set up, do you think?
It's not going to take long if I skip the configuration process. Yeah, it's not going to take long. So the main thing you
let's
need
do it.
to have, So the main thing you need is a Amazon account. I'm guessing everyone has an Amazon account, like or AWS account, like for if I'm being exact. So when you log into your AWS account, you get to the management console, in which you need to press EC2, and then you're gonna be prompted into here. I already have instance running, which has the current fork hosted, but I'm gonna create something from scratch just so I can like make a quick tutorial on this. So basically, you press launch instance, then you're gonna be prompted with like a lot of options that you don't really need. You just press the first one, which has free tier eligible. You press select, then you go into instance type, which has the free tier eligible also. I'm just going to pick that, press continue. This is the configuration process. I'm just going to skip that altogether because it's not really needed for this tutorial. It doesn't really mean much. Then you press storage, which storage I'm just going to keep default also. Tags I'm going to skip also. I'm skipping over a lot of things that are usually, get
It's like
I
additional
forgot the word in
customization.
English. Yeah, it's just additional customization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you press continue. Now here to set up configuration, security groups. You press add rule, and then you need to add an HTTP port open. You need to open an 80 port, which is HTTP. This can be from anywhere. It needs to be from anywhere if you want other people to go on your site. This is very important. So you get HTTP rule under added. Then you go review and launch. And this is going to be pretty much it. You press launch. This is going to be like a summary of your instance. You press launch. I'm just going to use the SPK. Yeah, this is also a good thing to point out. You need a new key pair to launch your instance. A key pair is basically a thing that allows you to access your server through SSH. You can do this on the website, but it doesn't. Well, you can do this on the website. It's just one click away to. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it on the website, so it would be easier, like an easier setup process. Okay, so this doesn't really matter. You should actually like create a new pair. It's going to allow you to download a file, which is a .pem file, which just proves your authority of the server. You press launch instance, and then it should launch. It should launch view instance, and then this is the instance I just made up. I need to wait for it to be running to connect to it. So yeah, this is gonna take some time, I'm guessing, because not really sure why. Just to the initial.
It's all right. While we're talking, while we're waiting, sorry, we can just chat. I know we mentioned briefly earlier, and it's something that Dan and I are very keen to have done. And I know it might be a little bit of extra work for you as we go forward, but it's something we want to work on as we go forward over the next few months. Is for the ability for people to customize their own front end. So where you've got like your color scheme there, maybe there's a way for people to add their own artwork as custom skins. And I appreciate maybe to talk about doing that next week is crazy, but maybe something that we can do a bit further down the line, because then you'd be looking at like having those custom skins backed by NFTs, and then you can go trade those on the market, and you can maybe charge people a royalty for using your skin on their front end, for example. There's all sorts of cool things like that can happen, I think, from this as well.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, but I'm not really sure how that would look like on
It sounds cool. It sounds cool to a normal person, but to a dev that's got to do the work, it's like, oh my god, that's a headache.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if it's running. Yeah. Okay, now if you see the instance state running, that means you have this connect button that pops up. Well, so you press it, and then you'll get into the EC2 instance connect. That means you can just press connect, and then you will be prompted into a bash terminal, which allows you to set up all that nonsense I set up on locally. So, so let's just press connect. Then you go on to a bash terminal, which already has the server running. So yeah, basically this is it. Then so this doesn't have Docker installed. The command is not found on a created instance. And the Amazon EC2 is usually use Yum as a package manager. Package manager is basically a tool that allows you to download stuff from the internet without really going into the site and pressing download. So basically, to download the Docker on this type of instance, you write sudo yum install Docker, and that should install it. Yeah, press Y, and then, well, yeah, you wait for it to be installed, and at the end of it, after it's done installing, yeah, you should see a complete here. Yeah, so now if I run Docker, it should be running. Yeah. But one more thing, if I want to run any sort of Docker command, I need to start the service of Docker. That's a really easy thing to do. You need to just write sudo service Docker and then start. That's the main two commands that you need for this to run. Now, if I get this command from here, I can just press the button. Then you go on here, you copy and paste it right here. You press enter, and now it should pull the image of it from Docker Hub, which is basically a place where a lot of Docker images get placed on. It's very hard to simplify, but it's just basically like GitHub. If anyone of you knows what GitHub is, it's basically just for not for code repositories, but for Docker images. So yeah, it should be running now. Now, if I wanted to, I can just close this, and it should be running on port 80. So that means it's the default HTTP port. Like, yeah. So now if I wait for this to be running eventually.
So just explain to me what we're waiting. What's the difference between this and what you showed us before? What you showed us before is running on a local computer, whereas this is running on an actual URL.
Yeah, this is running on a public server, which anyone can access.
Anyone can access. Right.
Yeah.
But that's using AWS, but you can use any service that you want. In theory, right?
You can use any service that you want, and boom, this is it. Yeah. So now if I paste this and get it here, well, now a newly created HTTP server instance doesn't have HTTPS. Yeah, so it's not secure as at the moment, but I need to set that up separately. So yeah, this is basically what.
So can we do another task here where we copy this URL, put it in the room in the chat, and then anyone that's listening who wants to tweet that out, we can say a tweet something like, "This is an independent Web3 platform," and just tweet that out. And put a hashtag something like Speak Network hashtag Speak Network, hashtag Web3. That this really is a truly independent Web3 platform that's been spun up in like 5 minutes.
The only thing I'm worried about is that it's gonna just crash because it has okay. a very small memory bandwidth. Clear. Because it's free. That's what I've tried to mention before.
Well, at least we can put it in the room though, right? And people can go click on it and see that it's actually there.
I've sent I've sent it. You should you should just be able to click it, and then you would be prompted up right into the page.
Where's your I'll just pin it. That's so good, man. That is so good. Really appreciate that work. Dan, are you still hearing this?
Yeah, this is amazing. Great work, Noho.
Yeah, this is really what this is the next step in Web3, And then after that, as Disregard works with us to build out the tokenization system here, one of the options as you go through the setup process of this website will be, do you want a token? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. And then it's going to go on and it'll ask you what your market cap, what type of inflation you want, who's going to get the initial distribution, what criteria, things like that. And then we can start, over time we're building syncs to these. So there's utility for the tokens over time. And it's just going to create all these sustainable, immutable breakaway communities that have got their own tokens that can print their own money. with sustainable business models behind them. It's just so powerful, so powerful. So it's super exciting. Yeah. Thank you very much, Leo. That's awesome. And if anyone else, Leo, if you can pop your Hive link in the room. One of the things that Leo is doing is he's going to document his work. And if you guys appreciate the work that he's doing, please go give him some upvotes on Hive so he can get monetized a bit more as well. Because I think he's an amazing developer, and we're very lucky to have him in Hive. And yeah, just really appreciate all the stuff that you're doing, man.
Nice, thanks.